Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it's going to be more of an informative video. I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process that I use to successfully integrate your ASF colony. Okay guys, you've heard all the things that people have said about ASFs. That they're chewers, they're aggressive, you can't integrate them, they're little devils. Well, I've yet to experience any of that negative behavior. So I'm going to take you along a process that I use to integrate my ASFs. Okay, so you run into this situation where you have a standing colony and you lose your male. Or you have one male and you lose a couple of your females and your production is not what it was. Just say you're only left with one male, one female, and you don't want to overwork that female. In any one of these cases, I'm going to show you steps on how to safely integrate a new member into your colony and be successful. One of the first things you're going to need is a barrier. This is a fence that's going to run the length of your tub that you're using. So make sure when you're measuring to make your barrier that you're measuring correctly from top to bottom. You don't want this fence or this barrier to fall over and your ASFs to be able to get at each other and harm each other. This is the whole reason for this barrier, is to separate them but still allow them to socialize and make contact with each other. So this is one of the first things you're gonna need to make. Okay, the tubs that I use are the 6-inch steam table tubs. I got these from Webstaurant. When I do my rat rack build, I'll put all the information. But like I said, when you make your fence or your barrier, notice how I've rounded these out because I want this to fit the inside contour of my tub. As you can see, it fits nice and snug. Right there, you want to put it right in the middle. Give them both enough room and it's pretty secure. Doesn't seem like you'll fall over. And that is what you want to make sure you got first, is to make sure that this is not going to tip over. They're going to get to each other to be able to harm each other. You want them through this fence right here. Let me turn it to the side. Through right here to be able to look at each other, smell, interact with each other, but without harming each other. So this is the whole purpose of this barrier. Okay, this is one of my colonies. Well, it's only a pair, to be honest with you. This is Larry, he is my male, and this is Nancy, she is my female. She's been giving birth back to back, dropping litter after litter. I don't want to overwork her so much, so that's why I'm going to integrate either one or two more females into this colony to give her a break. I removed Nancy and Larry and placed them into this tub while I set up their bin. Okay, like I've said before, ASFs, their nose is the biggest tool they use to make a lot of their decision making. Clean my ASFs every 2 weeks. Okay, so this is the middle of the 2 weeks, right? Basically, I want to keep this bedding. The reason is because it's the middle of the week. They've had enough time to put their scent all over this bedding. I want the newcomer to pick up their scent. Basically, my idea is to fool them to think that the newcomer is part of their colony. Okay, what I did here is I scooted half of the bedding to one side and the other half of the bedding to the other side. Now, I'm going to place the barrier in the middle to give them both enough room to walk around. That seems about right there. So now I'm just going to scoot all the bedding to cover the bottom. So it's nice and secure. Okay, I got the bin back in place. As you can see, it's nice and secure, the barrier. I'll be able to have the new females that I'm going to integrate, and then Larry and Nancy on the right hand side, without them able to get at each other because of the fence, but they'll be able to interact. Okay guys, as you can see, I've already put Nancy and I've already put Larry on their side of the tub. Now I'm getting the new female and putting her on the opposite side. To be honest with you, I like to run 2 females to a male, at least for my operation, because I don't have that many ball pythons. To me, a 2-to-1 is perfect, and I have 6 colonies going. It allows me to produce enough for myself and for those in my area. They're all in, and now all we're just gonna do is wait 5 to 7 days before we remove the barrier. And basically, on this side's the water, on this side's the food, right? Basically what I'm gonna do is cut a little hole here so I could put another water bottle, and basically remove this that I have to prop up the bottle and put the food under there, so both could go ahead and eat and drink out of the same area. Okay guys, as you can see, we got them both set up. They got their both water bottles, and they both got food on their side so they could eat. So this is day 1 guys, and we'll go ahead and update you every day until the 5th to 7th day when we remove the barrier. And as you can see, fits snug. Okay, so on day 1, I decided to take a little video of Larry and Nancy's interaction with the new female, and I'm gonna put this right here. Nancy was trying to bite through the fence, try to get at the new female, and I wanted to do it in this scenario for the fact that Nancy had just had a litter, and this new female was part of another colony that I was gonna start. Well, it was started, but I decided to change my mind, and I fed off the male and another female, and I was just left with those 2 females. And I was thinking, instead of starting a new colony, why not integrate a new female to Larry's colony? So that's what I decided to do. And like I said, Nancy had just had a litter, so I know she was going to be real protective and defensive if I tried to introduce anybody. So this was a prime example of what I wanted to show you. So you could see that I did it at a time where it would have probably been one of the worst times to integrate a new member to a colony. So on day 2, sometime during the day, I decided to peek in on them, see how they were doing. And Nancy and Marilyn, just for the sake of this video, let's call her Marilyn, were sitting at the fence, and they were just basically interacting with each other. There was no aggression or anything, but when they noticed that I was filming them, they decided to focus their attention on me. But basically that's what they were doing on day 2. Okay, now on day 3, basically it was the same thing. I decided to take some video, and they were basically just interacting with each other, relaxing, lounging around. And now on day 4, it just seemed like they were more relaxed. They weren't even focused on each other. They were kind of like doing their own thing on their side of the fence. So at this point, it kind of seemed like they were more okay with each other. They didn't see each other as a threat. It was more like they were getting comfortable with each other. Okay, so on day 5 is usually I recommend people to leave the berry up for 5 to 7 days. And on day 5, you could see that Marilyn and Larry were interacting, and Larry was just kind of like lounging around, not paying much attention. He was paying attention to her, but he wasn't paying attention to the, like, trying to get at her or anything like that. It seemed like he was more okay with her, and her being around didn't bother him. Now we're on day 6. Decided to look in on them, take a little film. And I caught all 3 of them at the fence interacting with each other. They weren't trying to get through the fence. They weren't gnawing on the fence or anything. They were just basically smelling each other, just interacting. It seemed like everything was okay. There was no kind of like threatening gestures that they were making towards each other. And it seemed like everything was okay. And that was a real good sign. All right. We have come up to day 7. Today we are going to attempt to move the barrier and watch the first initial interaction without the barrier between Larry and Nancy and the new female. So let's go ahead and remove that barrier and see what happens. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and remove the barrier, and then we'll go ahead and watch their initial interaction. Okay, barrier's coming out. Now they're able to interact with each other. Well, they just passed each other right now. You don't see any kind of hostility. It seems like they're more curious about smelling each other's side. And as you can see, there is Nancy does have some babies, and see, she's trying to dig out her baby. As you can see, the new female is smelling Larry. This is the new female right here in the corner. This is Larry. So it doesn't seem there's any hostility towards each other. Like I said, they're more curious. You can see as Larry's starting to sniff the new female. And I did add her for the fact that I didn't want to overwork Nancy. So far so good. So this is day 7, and we are gonna monitor them for a couple of more days just to make sure that they did integrate well and that there's no hostility towards the newcomer. And like I said, you could already see Larry's already smelling her. He's probably already wanting to mate. So that will give Nancy a little break at least. All right, today is day 10. It's 3 days after I initially removed the barrier. So let's go ahead and take a peek into Larry's colony and see how they're doing. So as you can see, guys, these guys are getting along well. They interact well. There's no aggression. As you can see, that's Marilyn right there taking a peek over the tub. You got Larry back there, and you got the lovely Nancy right here saying hi. And you got their babies over there crawling around. And they're doing well, guys. There's no aggression. They haven't been beating up on each other, nothing. Everything is great. As you can see, guys, they're doing great. There's no aggression towards the new member. Like I said, I want to go ahead and reiterate this, is I did this at a time where Nancy had just had a litter. She was going to be more aggressive protecting her litter, and I added a newcomer. So you could see that you could apply this process to either adding a new female to your colony or another male. You're gonna have a high success rate. I've been saying this for quite a while. A lot of people were negative about it, saying that no, you can't do that, it's not gonna work, whatever. I showed y'all in this video the process of how you go about doing this. In a lot of ASF groups that I'm part of, I've been circulating this information, been helping people. And if you didn't hear it from me, you've heard it from somebody that's been passing that knowledge on. And that's what's good about this hobby. You know, these are steps that are just going to further the hobby, at least in this area. I really enjoy working with ASFs, guys, and I hope this video helps you to integrate your ASF successfully, just in case you happen to run into the dilemma of being without females and not being up to the production that you're used to, or being without the male and having to integrate a new male. These steps will work in either case. So guys, I hope this was helpful to you, and if you like this video, you like the content, please smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. If you'd like, share the video with your friends. And guys, until next time, my name's Angel. This is Headhunter Exotics on YouTube.